Today we're going to talk how to save money on your electric bill. So much is going on in the world right now with everyone having to stay home, and with that, a lot of people's electric bills are going higher and higher and higher every day that we are stuck at home. So today I'm going to talk about how to cut your electric bill. Actionable things that you can do right now as you're watching this video. Go around the house, collect these items, do these things, and save some money on your electric bill. There's so many little hidden things that rack up energy and really can increase that bill. So I'm going to give you some actionable steps that you can do to reduce that. The first one is look into off-peak hours. Call your electric company and see if they offer off-peak hours. I know Graham Stephan is huge in off-peak hours. I called my company FPL, which I live in Florida, and honestly, FPL does offer off-peak hours, but it didn't benefit us. So really look into it, do some math, run some numbers. And what off-peak hours is, in a nutshell, is you're using your prime electric usage during off-peak hours. So a lot of people are running their electricity at night, on the weekends and when they're home. So using off-peak hours is when people aren't doing that. So a lot of times it's like between 8 and 10 a.m. during the week. So you can do all of your laundry during that time, or set a timer for your dishwasher to run at that time and have those bigger electric items running then. And they'll give you a discount per wattage, per unit of measurement that they use for electricity. I think it's kilowatts, whatever it is. So look into that and you can really save a lot of money. This is great for stay-at-home moms. This is great for people that are home all the time, and you can really make sure that you're using the energy in that source. So do some research about off-peak hours. It can really save you a ton of money on your electric bill. Next is saving money on laundry and how laundry can really inflate your electric bill. I have 4 ways to save money on laundry. First, make sure you're running full loads. I know that kids are really bad at just throwing a couple things, especially if they have somewhere to go, that they'll just do a couple. Sometimes husbands do this as well. Mine doesn't do that, right? No, but having full load. So make sure that you're doing a full load of laundry every single time you wash. You don't want to have all that water wasted, all that electricity if you're only doing a couple items. If you're going to just do a couple items, just hand wash it. Just do it that way, or wait until you have other items that you need to do as well. Second, put a towel in the dryer. I know it sounds crazy, but putting a towel in the dryer, even if it's clothes, even if it's wet towels, put one dry towel, that's gonna help absorb some of that moisture, and it's really gonna cut drying time down. Also, goodbye dryer sheets. Do not use dryer sheets. They have so much toxins in them, and they're just ending in the landfill, and they cost money. I have invested in reusable dryer balls. We have had the same dryer balls for probably six years now, I think it is. I have a couple plastic and a couple wool ones, and what they do is they bounce around. They're a little loud, I'll be honest, but they bounce around. They kind of beat out the wrinkles. They really improve dryer time. The wool ones are really great for static, and I put a couple essential oils on them like once every several months, and it kind of just freshens it up. And then the plastic ones, those have a little hole that allows steam to come out, and they steam your clothes as you use them. So they cut our drying time down drastically. Okay, 2 more things. Cold water. Cold water is just fine for your clothes. The only times that I use hot water in a laundry is for towels and sheets. That's it. Everything else, I use cold water. Guys, the detergents, it's fine. It's gonna get everything clean. It's gonna be fine. Really, you're gonna save a ton of money on not having to use your water heater for your laundry. That's gonna be huge. And then lastly is hang dry your clothes. I try to hang dry the majority of our clothes. We have a little rack above our washer and dryer that I hang dry those there, or I have the old fashioned kind. We use that as well. And that's gonna help save your clothes so that they last longer. It's gonna cut down electricity. It's really gonna maximize it. And even if you can pull out 6 items from the dryer, it's gonna cut down the dryer time in total. So you don't have to hang dry all of the clothes, just dry some of them, and then that's gonna maximize the whole dryer time and cut that down. And then also you have your dryer balls and you have your towel in your dryer. So all of that combined, it's really gonna cut your dry time in half, which is amazing because dryers, they can be expensive. Next tip is that you don't always need the light on. And this may seem like common sense, but we get in such a habit of you walk in a room and you turn on the light, right? And then you walk out and you shut off. It's supposed to be, not always. But it really does make a difference, especially during the day. During the day, guys, there's sunlight, you don't need a light. I went to take a shower the other morning, and out of habit, I went to turn on the light, and I was like, Kelly, it is plenty bright in here. We have a big frosted window in our bathroom, so there's no peeping Toms, but I went to take a shower and I was like, there's plenty of light. I don't need the light on right now. So break that habit of always, when you walk in a room, turn on a light. No, that is not necessary, especially during the day, natural sunlight, it's beautiful outside. So get in that habit of really thinking twice. Do I need the light on? Yes, no. And then also make sure you get in the habit of shutting the light off when you leave. That is huge, guys. That is huge, especially if you have kids or husbands that don't do that. Shut the lights off. Next is phantom power, and this is a doozy, guys. Phantom power can increase your electric bill by up to 10%, which is crazy. There's so many times that we have things plugged in and then we're like, oh, it's off. It's totally fine, right? No, even if it's off, it's still gonna be drawing power with it being plugged in. So make sure that you're unplugging those items. A great way to do it is have a power strip. That way you can plug in everything in one power strip and then just unplug the whole strip. And then when you're ready to use the items, you can just plug them back in. For me, I have all of these lights and everything for my setup. I have a monitor and all of this, and I have everything in a power strip so that when I'm done filming, I can just unplug the power strip, and then when I'm ready to film, I just plug it back in and it's all there. It's all ready to go for me, and it's not drawing useless power. Right now, I'm working from home and we have a desktop computer for my job. I have a laptop for YouTube, a MacBook, then I have my desktop for my work. So I'm making sure that I'm fully shutting that down every single night and unplugging it so that it's not drawing in a lot of power. Desktops, they draw so much power. It is crazy. I've noticed that I'm watching our electric bill, and with us being home, it's crazy how much higher it goes. And so we're having to be very resourceful and take in these, tips for ourselves to make sure that we're lowering that, because we don't want our electric bill to double, which it can in this time of quarantine. Guys, it can double fast. So be very aware of phantom power, especially when you're going on trips and vacation and you're not home. Like, unplug things like the microwave and all these random big appliances. Those are going to draw in a lot of power. You obviously want to keep your refrigerator, your freezer plugged in because you don't want your food to spoil. But those other electronics, your TV, your computer, your everything like that, that can all be unplugged, and that's going to save up to 10% on your power bill. If you're finding value in this, I would love for you to like the video. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and pushes it out and just tells YouTube that you like this stuff. So like the video and subscribe. I would love for you to join the Freedom in a Budget family. I put out lots of videos like this on saving money, growing your income, and investing. So join the Freedom in a Budget family. Hit that bell notification so that you're notified of all of my upcoming videos twice a week now, and typically blog posts for every single video as well. Next, we're going to talk about upgrades that can save money in the long run. So there are some things that you invest in upfront and then over time will save money. So one of them being a Nest thermostat or an Ecobee. We have an Ecobee. We bought it when we bought the house here, and it takes about 2 years to recoup your costs, but it can save around $130 a year on just programming your AC and your heat, which is crazy. There have been so many times where before in our apartment, I forgot to turn the AC down or turn it up, because we live in Florida, turn it up before we left the house. And then I would come home and it would be freezing cold. And I'd be like, oh crap, that AC just ran for 12 hours. Oh my gosh, so expensive. So now with our Ecobee, we can program it so that as soon as we leave the house, it goes up. As soon as we come home, it goes down. And then at night, it has a different temperature. You can program it so that when the last person leaves, it goes on a certain temperature. So even if it's programmed for daytime when we're leaving for a work schedule, if we're leaving on the weekend or if we're on vacation, it automatically knows. If we're not connected to Wi-Fi, if we're not connected to the home app, it's gonna turn the air up so that it saves us money, which is amazing. Another thing is LED bulbs. LED bulbs, guys, they are a game changer. We have LEDs all over this house. I don't think we have any old school lights anymore, but they really save a lot of money. And same thing with the bulbs is we can program them in our home app through our Apple TV, and when we're leaving, they go off. When we come home, they come on. And it really helps to minimize lights getting left on, because there have been times where we come home and the light's been left on all day long. Just to give you some perspective on LED bulbs and how much they save, an old school light bulb is about 60 watts. It can be replaced with a 9-watt LED bulb. So 60 watts compared to 9 watts, that's what the savings that's going to be on your electric bill. That is huge, guys. And then lastly is Energy Star appliances. Make sure that you're buying appliances that have the Energy Star. Or if you're upgrading your appliances, like your washer dies, your refrigerator dies, your dishwasher, any of those appliances, they die. When you do replace them, make sure that you're getting the Energy Star appliances. Where our washer is on the fritz right now. So I was actually looking at washers this morning and I was surprised at how many washers still aren't Energy Star certified. Like, it was crazy. I thought that was just a thing across the board now, but it's really not. So make sure that you're specifically looking for that so that you're saving as much money as possible when you are running it. This next one is an easy fix, and that is making sure that you're changing your air filter, especially if you're living in Florida, if you have pets, if it's pollen season, if it's high humidity, anything like that, especially in the summer months, make sure you're changing your air filter. That's going to help improve the efficiency of the machine so that it costs less when it runs, and it's going to help with just the air and the particles. Ooh, my Boston just came out. The particles in the air. Make sure that you're breathing clean air. The air filter, it really does make such a difference. I've noticed that when we don't, the next month after we change it, our electric bill actually does go down from that, which is so cool. This next one is a really easy one. You can go and do it while you're watching this video, is adjust the temperature on your refrigerator. So a lot of times we have a refrigerator and freezers way colder than what is recommended and what is necessary. So recommended is 40 degrees Fahrenheit for your refrigerator and 0 degrees Fahrenheit for your freezer. Anything below that, you can bump it up. Anything above that, you want to bring it down to make sure that you're at 40 and 0, because if you are above 40, then you can have food spoilage, or your food is going to spoil faster than it would at 40 degrees. So make sure you're at 40 degrees Fahrenheit for your refrigerator and 0 degrees Fahrenheit for your freezer, and that's going to help save a lot of money. It's going to really improve that. So that is a great actionable step that you can take right now to see a drastic difference right away. Next is to use smaller appliances. We have an air fryer and an Instant Pot. Those are my two favorite appliances in the whole house. And what I've noticed with those is you can cook your whole dinner in them and it's not heating up your whole house with your oven. So the Instant Pot, the air fryer, that's going to take a lot less energy than it would if you were to use the oven. And in addition to that, it's not going to heat up the whole house like an oven does. Especially in Florida, we have to be careful of that because then the AC is running as well. So using those smaller appliances can really help to save in the long run because you're using less electricity for them. Next is to block out outside air, heat, cold. Regardless of where you are, these are really going to help make a big difference. We use outlet covers on the little ones that you have for your baby. We have those on all of our exterior outlet plugs that are in use. And what that does is it helps block that air that comes in. You would be surprised on a windy day how much air comes in through those little outlet holes. So we use those to block all of our outlets. And then we also use shades and curtains and different materials to block out the outside heat that comes in. If you're in a cold environment, that's going to be the same exact thing. I remember when I lived up north and we had shades and curtain, and that would put up the shade for daylight, and it would be crazy how much more of a draft comes in, how much more of the cold air came into the room when I was sitting by the window, just by that shade and just by those curtains. It really makes such a big difference. So we use the room darkening ones, we use the ones that are thick, so that it's keeping, for us in Florida, that heat out, so that it keeps our room and our home cooler, which saves a ton of money. If you want to know how we're dealing with a $20,000 pay cut and what things to do if you are in a financial situation that you have a job loss or a pay cut, watch this video here. And if you want to know 10 things that we stopped buying to save money, watch this video here. No.